Imagine waking up one morning and realizing that the warning signs of a stroke might have been right in front of you, literally in your own hands. After the age of 65, the risk of stroke increases dramatically. In Japan, where one of the world's oldest populations lives, scientists and traditional healers alike have begun looking at the hands as a subtle but powerful mirror of vascular health. A weakening grip, a tremor, or even a small loss of dexterity can whisper what the body is trying to say long before a serious event occurs. Most people think of blood pressure, cholesterol, or heart rate when they hear the word stroke. But few would ever think that how they hold a cup, button a shirt, or lift a grocery bag could hold clues about the brain and circulation. Yet, for decades, Japanese researchers and wellness experts have noticed something remarkable. The hands, with their dense network of blood vessels and nerves, often reflect early changes in vascular tone and muscle coordination. These tiny details, often dismissed as normal aging, can actually reveal more than we imagine. In many rural areas of Japan, older adults have a simple morning habit. They stretch their fingers, rotate their wrists, and observe how steady and strong their movements feel. It is an ancient, quiet check, a moment of self-awareness deeply woven into their culture of longevity. While it looks like a calm ritual, modern science confirms that such hand-based checks can help detect early signs of declining grip strength or microcirculatory issues. Both have been strongly associated with higher stroke risk. This is where our journey begins. In this series, we will explore how a few seconds of observing and testing your hands might reveal far more than you expect. We'll look at the scientific evidence behind grip strength, fine motor control, blood flow, and the Japanese habits that help maintain them. You will learn that these traditions aren't mysterious secrets. They are practical, evidence-backed routines that anyone, at any age, can adopt. Today, in countries with aging populations, 1 in 4 adults over 65 will experience a stroke in their lifetime. But the hopeful side of this statistic is that nearly 80% of strokes are preventable through lifestyle awareness and small adjustments. The Japanese example shows us that prevention doesn't always begin in hospitals. It can start in the palms of your hands. Before we move further, take a moment. Stretch your fingers slowly, open and close your hands, and notice how they feel. Are they strong? Are they stiff? These first sensations can already tell a story about your circulation and muscular health. Keep that thought as we continue, because understanding what happens after 65 isn't just about medical tests, but about paying attention to what your own body reveals every single day. As we grow older, the body's landscape changes quietly. Blood vessels become less elastic, blood pressure often rises, and the fine balance between the brain and circulation begins to shift. After 65, these subtle transformations combine to raise the risk of stroke, a condition that strikes without pain, without warning, and yet leaves a lasting mark on millions of lives every year. But Japan, a country with one of the highest proportions of seniors in the world, offers an intriguing lesson. The way they live, observe, and care for their bodies provides clues to reducing that risk. In Japan, longevity is not merely a biological accident. It is the result of daily attention to the body's smallest signals. When researchers studied older Japanese adults, they found that many maintained functional independence well into their 80s. Part of that success came from small rituals, grip checks, balance exercises, stretching, that kept the vascular system and nervous pathways active. These actions might seem simple, but they preserve the communication between muscles and the brain, helping the body detect early weaknesses long before they become crises. Contrast this with the Western belief that, if I feel fine, I'm safe. This mindset can be dangerous because stroke rarely gives clear warnings. The body whispers long before it shouts, and those whispers are often physical. A weaker handshake, a slower response, a tremor when lifting light objects. In Japanese preventive culture, these whispers are heard and respected. The idea is not fear, but mindfulness, an awareness that every motion tells you something about your health. Studies confirm this awareness has measurable benefits. Japanese adults who stay physically active through purposeful movements, gardening, cleaning, cooking, or practicing calligraphy, show lower stroke incidence compared to less active populations of similar age. Their secret is not only diet or medicine, but the constant engagement of body and mind. Using the hands regularly maintains capillary flow, joint mobility, and even cognitive sharpness, all of which play roles in protecting the brain. It's also about rhythm. The Japanese concept of shikatsu no rhythm, or rhythm of life, emphasizes consistent sleep, meals, and light daily exercise. This stable rhythm keeps blood pressure and circulation steady. When combined with hand-based activities, it forms a protective pattern against vascular instability. It's no coincidence that the country with the world's longest life expectancy also has one of the most disciplined daily routines. So why do the hands matter so much in this context? Because they are both tools and sensors. They reveal strength, coordination, temperature, and blood flow. When something begins to change inside, whether in the heart, vessels, or brain, the hands are often the first to reflect it. Observing them is like reading your own health diary. With this foundation, we can begin our deeper exploration. The next step will uncover the first tangible sign researchers call a silent alarm, one that anyone can test in seconds, without equipment, and that may quietly predict the risk of stroke years in advance. Picture holding a glass of water. It feels lighter than it used to, yet your hand trembles slightly, or perhaps your grip isn't as firm as before. It seems trivial, but this simple observation may speak volumes about your body's condition. Researchers call it hand grip strength, and across Japan, it has become one of the simplest ways to detect early vascular and neurological decline. It's a check so ordinary that anyone can do it, yet it quietly predicts something as serious as stroke risk. In laboratories and wellness centers from Tokyo to Osaka, older adults often begin their routine with a small dynamometer, a device that measures grip strength. They squeeze it once, twice, and record the number. Over time, they track whether the force decreases. Why? Because declining grip strength has been linked to reduced blood flow to the muscles, lower nerve conductivity, and even early changes in brain function. In short, the hand may lose its firmness when the circulation and the nervous system begin to falter. But even without a device, there are signs you can sense. Do jars feel harder to open? Does carrying a shopping bag leave your hands tired too soon? Do your fingers feel weaker when you wake up? These questions are not about strength alone. They're about communication between your brain and body. The weaker that communication becomes, the higher the risk that something in your vascular system is changing. A large study published in BMC Geriatrics showed that adults with low grip strength had a significantly higher chance of developing stroke or heart disease, independent of their weight or blood pressure. Another long-term analysis in Japan found that grip strength could predict not only mortality, but the speed of physical decline. That's why many Japanese clinicians now consider it as fundamental as blood pressure when assessing older patients. There's a poetic simplicity in this test. No machines, no needles, just your hands. It is the body's built-in alert system, accessible to everyone. And yet, most people never test it. Perhaps we associate aging with inevitable weakness, or we ignore slow, gradual changes. But what if those small differences are your body's quiet request for attention? Testing your grip is easy. Sit upright, hold something firm, a small ball, a rolled towel, or even your other hand, and squeeze. Feel the pressure, hold for 2 seconds, release. Repeat on the other side. Do both feel equally strong? If one hand feels noticeably weaker, or if fatigue comes faster than before, that's valuable information to share with your doctor. The key idea here isn't fear, it's awareness. In Japan, grip checks are often paired with morning stretches or hand massages, serving both as prevention and reflection. As you continue through your day, remember, the strength in your hand is more than muscle. It's a conversation with your heart and brain. And in the next part, we'll look at what science and Japanese culture together reveal about why this connection is so profound. In the quiet corners of Tokyo's community centers, older adults gather each morning for simple exercises. They grip soft rubber balls, stretch their fingers, and exchange light conversation. It looks like routine social activity, yet behind these gentle movements lies a growing body of science. Researchers have discovered that hand grip strength is far more than a measure of muscle. It's a living indicator of vascular and neurological integrity. The connection between the hand and the brain runs deep, and when that bond weakens, the risk of stroke silently rises. A large longitudinal study published in BMC Geriatrics followed thousands of adults over several years. Those in the lowest quartile of grip strength faced up to twice the risk of stroke compared to those with stronger hands, even after accounting for age, smoking, and body weight. Scientists believe the reason lies in the shared pathways of circulation and nerve function. Weakened grip may reflect impaired blood flow, inflammation of blood vessels, or early degeneration of motor neurons, all of which precede vascular events. Japanese researchers have taken this insight a step further. At universities in Kyoto and Nagoya, studies of older participants revealed that maintaining grip strength correlated with better cognitive performance and lower blood pressure variability. In Japan's approach to preventive health, this means something profound. Measuring grip strength doesn't only predict physical weakness, it also provides a window into brain health. Because the same arteries that nourish the hand supply the motor regions of the brain, changes in one often mirror changes in the other. But this is not meant to alarm, it's meant to empower. By recognizing grip strength as a silent alarm, people can take action early. Regular strength maintenance through hand exercises, resistance training, or traditional Japanese practices like taiso, gentle rhythmic movement, and shibori, cloth-wringing stretches, help keep microcirculation active. These are simple, accessible, and evidence-based methods of maintaining blood flow and nerve vitality. Culturally, this link between hand and life force isn't new. In Japanese calligraphy, for instance, steadiness of stroke is seen as a reflection of inner balance. A master's hand does not tremble because the mind and body move as one. This idea resonates with modern science, which increasingly supports the unity of physical and mental coordination in preventing vascular disease. Imagine incorporating that wisdom into daily life, checking your grip once a week, doing light squeezing exercises, or performing mindful finger stretches can be as valuable as monitoring blood pressure. It's an act of self-care grounded in awareness rather than anxiety. As we move forward, we'll explore how Japan's elders protect that connection between body and mind through everyday activities that train not only strength, but coordination. Movements that keep the brain agile, the hands precise, and the risk of stroke quietly at bay. When you watch an elderly Japanese person folding paper cranes or deftly using chopsticks, you are seeing more than skill. You are witnessing a form of neurological exercise. These small, deliberate movements preserve the connection between the brain and the hands, keeping coordination sharp and blood flow steady. Fine motor control, often overlooked, is one of the most sensitive indicators of brain and vascular health. In Japan, where longevity and function are both cultural priorities, the maintenance of hand coordination is treated almost as a daily ritual. It's easy to underestimate how much coordination tells us. The ability to button a shirt smoothly, to write legibly, or to handle coins without fumbling depends on intricate communication between the brain, nerves, and muscles. When coordination falters, even slightly, it can signal reduced blood flow to the motor cortex or early changes in nerve pathways, conditions that over time increase stroke vulnerability. These aren't merely aging inconveniences, they're health messages written through motion. Researchers in Tokyo have studied fine motor performance among older adults using simple tasks like pegboards or chopstick tests. Those who struggled slightly with precision often showed higher markers of vascular stiffness and slower reaction times. Yet those who practiced coordinated activities, gardening, origami, knitting, or painting, maintained stronger neural connections and lower inflammation levels. The lesson is clear. Fine motor activity is not just skill preservation, it's active brain protection. Japanese elders often integrate these tasks naturally into their lives. A grandmother folds paper during television programs. A retired craftsman continues to sand wood. A group of seniors meets weekly to practice calligraphy. These aren't hobbies for passing time. They're invisible workouts for the nervous system. Each precise movement demands focus, dexterity, and timing, stimulating both sides of the brain while maintaining hand agility. From a scientific perspective, these actions promote cerebral blood flow and sustain microvascular health. The repetitive yet mindful engagement of fingers sends constant sensory feedback to the brain, reinforcing neural circuits that control coordination. This mutual reinforcement is exactly what modern medicine seeks to preserve in aging: functional integrity between motor neurons and blood supply. You don't need traditional tools or artistic training to adopt these habits. Begin with something simple. Pour water slowly into small cups using one hand, thread a needle, or write short notes by hand instead of typing. Practice slow, precise motions that challenge your focus. It's not about perfection, it's about keeping the conversation alive between your hands and your brain. The Japanese have a saying, "Te ga kataru," the hands speak. They speak of health, of patience, of life in motion. Every smooth gesture and every controlled movement reflects a dialogue within the body that protects against decline. And as we continue, we'll uncover another hidden habit, one that begins each day and may hold the key to better circulation and resilience after 65. Morning sunlight spills across a quiet Japanese home. Before breakfast, an elderly woman sits near the window, rubbing her hands together, rotating her wrists, flexing her fingers, and gently pressing each joint. It looks like a moment of calm reflection, but it is much more than that. It is a centuries-old habit that wakes the body's circulation. This ritual, practiced by countless Japanese elders, keeps blood flowing through the smallest vessels of the hands, stimulates the nervous system, and helps regulate morning blood pressure, all essential for reducing stroke risk. The morning hours are a critical time for the cardiovascular system. Studies show that most strokes occur in the early part of the day, when blood pressure naturally spikes after waking. In Japan, where prevention has become part of lifestyle, many older adults use slow, rhythmic hand movements to prepare their circulatory system for this transition. These movements are gentle but deliberate. Open and close the hands, rotate the wrists, press the palms together, and stretch the fingers outward. They are not exercises of strength, but of activation, encouraging smooth blood flow and oxygen delivery throughout the extremities. Traditional Japanese medicine, or kampo, has long emphasized the concept of ki, vital energy that circulates through the body. While modern science uses different language, the effect aligns closely with physiology. Gentle motion early in the day increases heart rate gradually, awakens vascular elasticity, and reduces sudden pressure fluctuations. Researchers at Kyushu University found that older adults who performed light morning mobility routines, including hand and wrist exercises, displayed more stable blood pressure patterns and improved arterial flexibility. The ritual also has a mental component. Japanese elders treat it as a mindful practice, feeling the warmth spread through the palms, focusing on the movement of blood, and beginning the day with awareness. This combination of mindfulness and motion engages both the autonomic and sensory systems, synchronizing body and mind before daily tasks begin. It's a form of quiet self-care that requires no technology, just attention. Adopting this habit is simple. Upon waking, before even leaving the bed, start with slow finger flexes. Open and close the hands 5 times. Then rotate each wrist in small circles, press the palms together, and stretch the fingers wide apart. Finish by lightly massaging the hands from wrist to fingertip to promote warmth. The entire process takes less than 2 minutes, yet it gently activates circulation and sets the tone for the day. What's remarkable about this Japanese approach is its humility. There is no rush, no heavy exercise, no complex device, only intention and presence. It's prevention through stillness and precision. And as this calm awareness spreads through the hands, it carries with it a message. Health begins not with intensity, but with consistency. In the next part, we'll explore how this same principle extends beyond movement, into the food on the table. Because in Japan, what nourishes the hands and vessels each morning continues throughout the day, one meal at a time. If movement keeps the blood flowing, nourishment keeps it clean and resilient. In Japan, the traditional diet is not just a matter of taste, it's a lifelong practice of vascular care. What appears on the Japanese table directly supports circulation, nerve health, and microvascular strength, including in the hands where those vessels are smallest and most sensitive. Each meal becomes a quiet act of prevention, guarding against the same vascular changes that lead to stroke after 65. A typical Japanese breakfast is modest yet balanced. A bowl of miso soup, grilled fish, steamed rice, and vegetables lightly seasoned with sesame or soy. This combination is low in saturated fat, rich in omega-3 fatty acids, antioxidants, and minerals such as magnesium and potassium, all nutrients known to improve vascular elasticity and blood pressure regulation. Studies have shown that communities in Japan that adhere to this traditional eating pattern have significantly lower rates of both heart disease and stroke compared to Western populations of similar age. Fish, particularly salmon and mackerel, supply essential omega-3s that reduce inflammation and keep blood platelets from clumping excessively. Fermented foods like miso, natto, and pickled vegetables introduce beneficial bacteria that help control cholesterol and improve gut health, which in turn influences vascular tone. Seaweed provides iodine and antioxidants, while green tea adds catechins that enhance endothelial function, the delicate lining of blood vessels responsible for healthy circulation. This dietary wisdom extends to portion size and rhythm. Japanese elders rarely overeat. They follow the principle of hara-hachi-bu, eat until you are 80% full. By avoiding excess calories, they prevent blood sugar spikes and maintain stable metabolism, reducing the stress on arteries and small vessels. For the hands, this means a steady supply of oxygen and nutrients through unobstructed blood flow, keeping tissues flexible and responsive. Beyond nutrients, there is a cultural relationship with food that influences health, the act of eating slowly, appreciating presentation, and using chopsticks. The physical process of lifting food delicately from plate to mouth engages hand coordination and fine motor control. Mealtime, therefore, becomes both nourishment and exercise, a graceful balance of body and mind. For someone seeking to adapt this lifestyle, perfection isn't necessary. Start with small steps. Include 1 serving of oily fish each week, replace heavy sauces with light soy or vinegar-based dressings, add steamed vegetables to every meal, and finish with green tea instead of sugary drinks. Over time, these subtle adjustments strengthen the body's inner network of vessels, the same pathways that protect the brain. In Japan, diet is never separate from daily movement. They are 2 halves of the same philosophy. The way food is prepared, served, and eaten reflects the same mindfulness seen in morning rituals. As we continue, we'll look at how another Japanese principle connects these habits: the purposeful use of hands through meaningful activity, uniting longevity with a sense of purpose and community. In Japan, aging is not a quiet retreat, but a continuation of purpose. Across small towns and city neighborhoods, elders can be seen tending gardens, repairing tools, practicing calligraphy, or weaving cloth. Their hands are rarely idle. This isn't only cultural tradition, it's medicine in motion. Using the hands in meaningful activity preserves muscle tone, keeps circulation active, and nurtures the mind. It's a living embodiment of ikigai, the Japanese concept of a reason for being. Scientists studying longevity in Okinawa, the region famous for some of the world's oldest people, have found that purposeful engagement, especially through the hands, correlates with lower stress hormones and better cardiovascular health. When older adults continue to perform skilled or creative tasks, their bodies sustain balance between the nervous and circulatory systems. Each movement of the hands, guided by intention, keeps the brain alert and the vessels flexible. A retired carpenter sanding wood, a grandmother knitting sweaters for family, or a group of elders folding origami for local festivals. These scenes reveal more than tradition. They show a lifestyle where physical function and emotional meaning are intertwined. The repetition of delicate motion maintains grip and dexterity, while the sense of purpose fuels motivation. This union of motion and meaning is a natural defense against vascular decline, cognitive deterioration, and depression, all of which increase stroke risk. Japanese culture honors this relationship deeply. In community centers, Senior workshops blend craft with companionship. The act of creation brings social connection, laughter, and subtle exercise. Hands move, blood flows, spirits lift. These seemingly simple gestures keep the social and physical body alive. Studies published in Japanese gerontology journals confirm that regular hand-based hobbies reduce the incidence of hypertension and improve mood stability among older adults. The idea is elegantly simple. Activity should carry meaning. When the hands serve a purpose beyond routine, they anchor both physical and mental health. The Japanese don't separate wellness from life. They fold it into every gesture, every shared moment of work or artistry. This integration helps explain why Japan consistently ranks among the top nations for life expectancy and functional independence in aging. For those outside Japan, this wisdom is easy to adopt. Find a task that uses your hands and gives joy: gardening, painting, cooking, fixing small things, or writing letters by hand. Dedicate time to it regularly. The key isn't perfection, it's participation. Through movement with purpose, you send a steady rhythm through your body, a rhythm that keeps the heart strong and the mind awake. In the Japanese view, the hands are extensions of the heart. When they create, connect, or care for something, they remind the body to stay alive in every sense. And as we gather the lessons of these habits, strength, coordination, circulation, nourishment, and purpose, we approach a full circle of prevention and awareness, ready to bring everything together in a single practical guide for life after 65. Everything we've explored, strength, coordination, morning rituals, nourishment, and purposeful movement, comes together in a single truth. Your hands can tell the story of your health. For those over 65, paying attention to them isn't superstition. It's science supported by culture. The Japanese have mastered this blend of mindfulness and practicality, turning daily gestures into tools for longevity. Now, it's time to connect all these insights into a simple, sustainable practice. Start with awareness. Each morning, before you reach for your phone or your cup of tea, spend 1 quiet minute observing your hands. Open and close them slowly, rotate your wrists, and feel the subtle warmth that follows. This ritual, borrowed from Japanese elders, improves circulation and allows you to notice small changes in strength or coordination. If something feels off, if stiffness lasts longer or grip feels weaker, that awareness alone could prompt early medical advice, preventing serious complications later. Next, integrate small doses of hand exercise throughout the day. You don't need a gym. Carry groceries, squeeze a softball, hang clothes, or tend to a plant. These natural motions mimic traditional Japanese activities that keep blood moving through fine vessels. Combine this with gentle breathing or stretching to stabilize blood pressure. Small acts repeated consistently shape the rhythm of vascular health. Food remains a cornerstone. Follow the washoku principle: balance, simplicity, and color in every meal. A portion of fish, vegetables, and fermented food supports microcirculation, especially in the hands and feet where vessels are most delicate. When you eat slowly, use utensils or chopsticks, and appreciate texture, you're training coordination and encouraging mindful digestion, 2 vital factors for stable blood flow. Then, add purpose. Choose a hand-based activity that means something to you. Write, draw, cook, or garden, not as chores, but as living therapy. In Japan, this sense of ikigai gives elders energy and structure, lowering stress hormones that can harm the heart and vessels. Doing what you love keeps the body in motion and the mind calm, a balance that modern medicine recognizes as crucial for preventing vascular disease. Finally, rest. Balance activity with stillness, mirroring the Japanese philosophy of moderation. Too much exertion can raise blood pressure. Too little allows circulation to stagnate. The goal is harmony, not intensity. What unites these practices is their simplicity. They require no medication, no complicated schedules, just awareness and intention. When practiced together, they protect the small systems that sustain life: capillaries, neurons, and the rhythm of the heart. It's remarkable how something as ordinary as the movement of your hands can represent the complexity of your health. They are tools, messengers, and protectors all at once. And as you begin to apply these insights daily, you build a quiet shield against one of aging's greatest dangers. The only step left is to act, and to keep this newfound awareness alive as part of your everyday life. As this journey draws to a close, imagine looking at your hands again, those same hands that have cooked, written, cared, built, and held on through decades of life. They carry the memory of every motion, and within them lies the potential for longevity. What the Japanese example teaches us is that prevention isn't hidden in hospitals or complex technologies. It lives in awareness, rhythm, and connection. The secret to protecting your brain and heart after 65 may truly begin at your fingertips. Your hands are more than tools, they're sensors of health. They register strength, warmth, coordination, and subtle changes long before symptoms appear elsewhere. Every time you test your grip, stretch your fingers, or notice tremors, you're reading a quiet message from your body. That awareness is the foundation of Japanese wellness, an ongoing dialogue between the physical and the mindful. Take these lessons forward with intention. Keep the daily morning ritual, flex the fingers, rotate the wrists, feel the warmth rise. Let it be a small ceremony of self-check and gratitude. Maintain grip strength through ordinary activity. Carry groceries, wring towels, cook, or do crafts. Choose food that supports your vessels: fish, vegetables, miso, seaweed, and tea. And, most importantly, fill your days with tasks that matter to you. The union of purpose and motion, ikigai, is what keeps both the heart and the hands alive. If you've noticed changes, hands that tire faster, coordination that's less steady, or grip that feels weaker, don't ignore them. Speak to your doctor. In Japan, this awareness is considered wisdom, not worry. Early attention can save years of vitality and independence. Beyond the science, there's a poetic truth here. The hands reflect what we give to the world. They create, nurture, and communicate. Keeping them healthy is not only about preventing illness, it's about preserving our ability to connect. That's why this message extends beyond Japan, beyond culture. It's universal. The path to graceful aging lies not in fighting time, but in living attentively within it. Now pause and truly look at your hands. Flex them. Feel the pulse beneath your skin. Every heartbeat that reaches your fingertips is proof of life, of continuity, of resilience. Protect that rhythm through mindful care, and it will continue to serve you with strength and steadiness. Have you ever noticed your hands changing over time? Do they feel stronger or weaker than a few years ago? Share your story. Others can learn from your experience. This conversation is how community begins, people helping each other notice the quiet signs that matter most. Thank you for walking through this exploration of Japanese wisdom and modern science. If this knowledge inspired you, share it, discuss it, pass it on. Every small gesture of awareness spreads health. And when you're ready for more, join the next step of our journey, discovering how the feet and legs, like the hands, reveal hidden truths about circulation and vitality in aging.